united as a nation, blessed from above, strong to have made it this far,
unafraid of the future, surrounded by love,
proud of who we are.
These fields and the hills beyond recall, they lift us up and never let us fall.
We write on the pages of history, legends to legacy.
We will all stand together as one.
this is our land forever, yeah.
Guarded by angels, heaven on earth.
This is our home,
Persians, hear me now. If I hear a Barracuda today, I got something to say. Boy, raise your flag, but open your eyes. If I in the nation, but look how she flying now. Is she a prime minister or a pilot? Action Is she a prime minister or pilot? Every week an next flight in the docket. Hostess or conquer who could tell? Barbados come crew not doing well. Borrow and fly and borrow. Tax the people, cry tomorrow. Plane take off, nothing drop down, not a cent touching the ground. Fly over government, fly and gone again. So big body people strain. We catching heat, they catching plane. Fly over government, no landing in the rain. Fly over government, them up high we remain. Every time we talk, we hush. Next thing plane right, do whoosh. Making airline. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain borrowing again. Fly over government. Fly over government.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Barbados. Good evening, Barbadians here and in the diaspora. Welcome to our Thursday edition of DLP TV. We had a wonderful time on Tuesday. We plan to have an equally or an even better time today. On Tuesday, we were discussing what are the people saying, and we felt on reflection that if we are attempting to reflect the views of the public, perhaps we should let the public speak tonight. And we're so grateful that every week several of you write in your comments, and we get to read only 1 or 2, 3, 4 sometimes. We want you to write in tonight, and we're going to read as many as possible and respond to what you are saying. It's your show. We just here managing the process, but this is your show, and tonight this is particularly your show. So that's what we're going to be doing tonight. We're going to be interactive, and we are going to be allowing you to speak to us, and we will speak back to you. There is a story that seems to be breaking in Barbados. Today, a piece of, let me call it a document. A document was circulated in Barbados, and it pertains to the Transport Board and the future of the Transport Board. And it is fairly drastic if it should come to pass. Let me say to you what that document is about. That document is saying that the Transport Board will be divested. It will come to an end, and that the buses will be transferred to those who wish to take them. What we will do, so that I don't go on guessing, I've asked one of the panelists to read that document, but before he reads that document, let me introduce our panelists tonight. This is the Malik Punka, all over St. Peter. All parts of St. Peter, church services, church suppers, in people's kitchens being given juices, in the shops with the fellas. Jason Phillips. Jason, we're so proud of you. I'm proud of the work that you're doing in St. Peter. Welcome to this program again.
Thank you, Leader. I'm President of the Democratic Labour Party. And tonight, again, I just want to say a pleasant good evening to the good people of St. Peter and you'll be hearing from me a bit more in the show.
Thank you. Next to Jason is our St. James South man. He has experience in BCA, Barbados Cricket Association. I think he plays cricket as well. From the center of Barbados, but he has migrated to St. James South, and I hope he's living in St. James South. I hope he's spending more time in St. James South than any other part of Barbados, apart from where he works. This is our candidate for St. James South, Mr. Pedro Greaves. Pedro, welcome.
Thank you, Comrade Leader, and I want to open by saying congratulations to the St. James Silhouettes. They would have won the Barbados Workers Union Netball Division 1 competition last night, and I was there to support them.
Thank you. And that feedback is from Puka himself.
So,
Our man in the city, a regular guest on the show. Look, we're absolutely certain, well, we shouldn't speak like that. We shouldn't speak with that kind of arrogance, because there's the word hubris, and we try to avoid hubris. But you've done so much work in the city, Dale, that we are confident that you have captured the hearts of the people in the city. Welcome to the program, Dale Rowe.
Good evening, Comrade Leader. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, panelists.
Our next guest, every night I come here and call him David Sandiford. Why do I call you David Sandiford? David is our St. George North candidate, doing excellent work. Can I tell out your secrets? He comes here every night with his management team, doesn't move without them. Can I say who your management team is?
Oh, that's all right.
That's all right?
Yeah.
All right, meaning I can say or don't say?
You can say it. You can say
His
it.
management team is led by his daughter and his wonderful wife, and they come here every night, and you walk in the studio telling out some more secrets, and they're preparing him. On Tuesday when we came, they were pressing his shirt and stuff.
I have to look good for my people in St. George.
and the family, the
Well, of
management
course.
team. Welcome, David.
Well, I'm glad to be here. Hope that tonight we can really punch in some gears and do some justice on behalf of the people of Barbados. And the diaspora. They're looking on.
Yes.
They told me they're watching us. So we need to really do something for them. They want something. They want to see some results. And this is part of the action.
Excellent.
It's part of the action.
And by the way, this is David Walrond, not David Sandiford. David Sandiford is a good friend of mine from Eden Lodge. You should know David Sandiford. You're a Combermere man. David, I hope you're watching David Sandiford. We have David Warren in tonight.
Another Combermere man.
You're a Combermere man too?
Oh, most definitely.
Oh man, up and on.
up definitely up and on.
2 up and honors tonight. Excellent. We began by telling you about a story that seems to be breaking in Barbados. Whether we're right or wrong, we have a public responsibility as a mature and responsible political party, the second oldest political party in Barbados, to give you this story that is breaking in relation to the Transport Board. I want to tell you that this party's position has been, as a social democratic party, that the government, the state, ought to be involved in certain productive sectors, and certainly transport is one. Health, housing, education. Those are sectors in which the government must be involved in an emerging democracy. You cannot abandon certain services, social services, to the market, so to speak. So we have always felt that there are certain sectors that that the government must protect. The government must continue the investment in these areas. Could you imagine if everybody in Barbados had to pay for health? Could you imagine if everybody in Barbados had to pay for education? Could you imagine if everybody in Barbados had to pay the kind of transport fares, bus fares, that would make the Transport Board profitable, as they say? This country would collapse. People would not get to work. You go to the US, you go to Britain, and I was in Britain last year, and the transport costs are high. Perhaps because the transport authorities there operate on profit. In Barbados, historically, the Transport Board has never quite operated on profit. You want to make people feel that the entity is profitable. But the profit in the transport board is the success in moving people. That's where the profit lies. It is not about the bottom line. It's not about investing $8 and bringing in 10. The profit lies in being able to transport people to and from work, and that is the success of transport. So that this document that has been circulated today is a matter of great concern, a matter of national concern. We are not saying that it is true or not true, but as I said, as a responsible political party, we must come to people and we must bring these issues to people. So if this is the first place, the first public media by which you're hearing this, well, we accept the responsibility of bringing this document to people and the details of this document. Whether it is true or whether it is false, the public has an interest and a vested interest in knowing that there seems to be something which will alter public transport in Barbados. The person with the best eyes on this panel is Pedro Greaves. He plays cricket every Saturday. He bats high in the order. Opener. He has excellent eyes. So he's going to use those eyes tonight and read salient portions of this document. We are not attributing this document to anyone. We are just saying this document is in circulation. We don't have a Freedom of Information Act, but you can be sure that when you come to the LPTV, we're going to give you information that is important, information that is vital to the success, the prosperity of this country. So I've said a lot. Pedro, I'm going to turn to you and ask you to read salient portions of this document so that Barbadians know what is going on in our country. That camera directly in front of you, you look up sometimes because we want you to, not that one, that one. We want you to tell the public something about this document. Over to you.
Thank you, Comrade Leader.
You're welcome.
Divestment of the Barbados Transport Board. The reform of the public transportation sector is predicated on the basis of divestment of the Transport Board and the proposed establishment of the Barbados Mass Transit Authority to be the regulatory entity for the sector. With regard to the Transport Board, the Cabinet has agreed that it be divested on the basis of the following proposals. 1. That all of the workers at the Transport Board be severed, and that discussions be held with the unions on the subject of separation packages. 2. Opportunities be created for those workers who would wish to be economically enfranchised by becoming an owner or operator of the buses and or providing cleaning, bus washing, and security services. 3. The transferring of the ownership of 121 BYD electric buses to former employees of the Barbados Transport Board and the Transport Authority who will be impacted by the establishment of the proposed Barbados Mass Transit Authority. In this exercise, priority be given to the Barbados Transport Board drivers, other Transport Board staff, and employees of the Transport Authority, and thereafter the general public if the offer is not fully subscribed by the said former employees. Discussions be held with the unions in relation to the enfranchisement of the workers at the Barbados Transport Board who provide cleaning, bus washing, and security services through the formation of 2 companies. The Mass Transit Authority as successor entity will hold the bill of sale over divested buses and should negotiate with entities in relation to matters including insurance and receiving loan repayments from the persons who accept the terms and conditions for the purchase of these buses. The value of the electric buses that were donated by the People's Republic of China for the purpose of this transaction will be 50% of the book value. The Governor of Barbados will meet the cost of 50% of the electricity supplied to the buses from the charging stations that are on the property of the Barbados Mass Transit Authority. In the interim, the Barbados Transport Board will increase the number of charging stations. The state will cover 25% of the replacement cost of the rechargeable batteries through a sinking fund. Bus owners will bear responsibility for 75% of the replacement cost of batteries. Charters and other commercial use of the buses will be subject to the regulation and prior approval of the Barbados Mass Transit Authority. Equitable allocation of routes will be the principle upon which the Mass Transit Authority will operate. And finally, Comrade Leader, interest payable on the loans to the bus owners will be at a rate of 2%.
Thank you. Gentlemen, you all listened. And this would be a quite dramatic transformation in public dramatic transformation in public transport in Barbados. I do not remember any time in my life when I have not seen something on the road called Transport Board. Back in the day, Rockland, back in the day, Elite, back in the day, Progressive. This will be the first time in my lifetime that I will not see a Transport Board bus on the roads. Certainly when I came to my consciousness, I was seeing the little wooden buses plying between Rosettes and Bridgetown, and then they turn into the Albions, and then they turn into the Leylands, and then they turn into the Seddons. You're impressed by this? You say, George, man.
Very impressed.
Very impressed, yes. And we will now have Dale's generation will see the disappearance. But you can't see a disappearance, we'll experience the disappearance of those Transport Board buses that we have come to know, and we've come to take them for granted. If this comes to pass, that's it for the Transport Board. Perhaps another UCAL. We know what UCAL is about. I don't know if the success or failure of UCAL. But gentlemen, what does this say for Barbados going forward? The disappearance of the Transport Board, the transfer of buses. These are the salient features that I caught when Pedro was reading. The transfer of the buses to willing drivers and conductors. Do they still have conductors though? Who will drive the buses. We know what is the state of our roads. We know how often these buses break down. We know that by this document, government is undertaking to assist with repairs and charging, and that is to say, charging electricity into the buses. Can I get some feedback from this panel? Who goes first? You, Pedro? You read it.
Yeah, I'll go first. Thanks, Comrade Leader. One of the things that comes to mind first would be that Barbadians always had that sense that the Transport Board would provide a sense of safety in getting your school children and the elderly to and from locations. And the elephant in the room has been recently where my good friend here, Mr. Rowe, would have been speaking. The road is speaking at the scene of the accident, where a bus had overturned. And we're not saying that all the transport drivers are part of that culture, but now that you're putting it into the hands of persons, the control where I'm hoping does not actually then lead for a person to be afraid now of cashing the public transport that was there and has been a part of Barbados from the time I even know myself. The second thing that immediately jumps out at me is that you see a number of these buses off the road, as we just mentioned. And I think it was in 2022, and before that, probably early in 2015, 2017, but there have been a number of recalls of these buses, these BYD vehicles on the market, and it's very expensive. So they're being recalled and stuff because of safety concerns. I remember initially people were talking about the electric buses and the fires and stuff they may cause, etc. And it's very hard to maintain. So when you privatize these things, then I'm saying that it's going to be a cost at the average Barbadian who's going to be thinking, like when they did the Airbnb, that they're going to be making money, that they're actually going to be at a loss in the end. So is this a way that the government is taking this expense away off of the government purse and putting it on to the purse and the pockets of average Barbadians? I am deeply concerned, Comrade Leader, and I'm hoping that this has been truly thought out, and I will investigate this with as much passion as I read it earlier.
Thank you very much. David, I saw you making some notes there. And I want you to tell us what you'd be writing there.
I consider myself the average Joe.
The average Joe.
I always put myself in the shoes of the average person.
Empathy.
No. Unprofitable roads will become an issue.
Excellent point.
A private concessionaire wants to make profits.
Mm-hmm.
He don't want to drive out in the country where the roads are bad,
Yes.
destroy the unit,
Mm-hmm.
and take in very little profit.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go again. We will have an issue of private concessionaires complaining
Mm-hmm.
about unprofitable roads. Remember I said that.
Yes.
And, like Pedro said, maintenance.
I want to interrupt you with a question before you go to come back to maintenance. Under this proposal, we don't know,
You know,
will the transport authority fix the bus fares? And if they do, it means that the person who has bought into this bus, he doesn't have a lot of control over his profit margins, because the transport board probably was not doing it for financial profit. They were doing it as a service.
Mhm.
If you hand it to the private sector, it's not a public service any longer. It's a business, profit oriented. So who fixes the fares? If the fares stay at $3.50, the gentleman is not, Pedro, and you're a businessman, he's not going to make money. So this may be a well-disguised way of
Raising the bus fare.
raising bus fares.
You should be asking for.
And that's why the LPTV is here.
and the question will be, at the end of every transaction,
Mm-hmm.
there's the person at the top. There's the person who benefits, but then there's always somebody in the fallout. There's always some
Yes.
measure of fallout.
Mm-hmm.
The question will be, who will suffer the fallout? That's most important, you know.
The new owners or the traveling public?
I
You tell?
suspect the traveling
The
public.
traveling public.
Because I, as a business person,
Mm-hmm.
I will not take a bus on the road,
Yes.
spend long man hours
Mm-hmm.
fixing tires, cleaning bus, servicing bus,
Mm-hmm.
and then Pedro down the road, he got a bus too,
Mm-hmm.
and he raking in profits.
Yes.
And I'm making anything.
Are you taking two people to Pike-Horn at
And
11 o'clock at night?
it does not make sense. It's not financial. It's not a financial,
It's financially viable.
sensible
Yeah. Yeah.
decision to
Yeah.
take up an unprofitable route.
Precisely.
That is where the first wrangling will start.
Yes.
In this whole thing.
Yes.
The unprofitable
Yes.
route. Remember
Yes.
I said that.
Yes. Jason is eager to get in. And we'll come back to you on maintenance,
Oh yes.
which is going to be high. We know that a lot of these buses have been parked up at the street, Robert Street.
Yeah, okay.
But Jason, you're eager.
How you know that?
I can tell.
Listen, I'm eager because I want to look at it from a twofold perspective.
Mhm.
I want to get into the meat of the matter from the pensioners' perspective
Mhm.
as school children, and then I'm going to come right back down to the drivers.
Yes.
Because this letter sounds a bit sexy, but when we look at the nuts and bolts of it,
Let's call it a document, not a letter.
this document looks
Document.
sexy.
You're a lawyer, man. Call it a document.
When I'm speaking to the average Joe, yeah,
Mhm.
the transport board in its current setup
Mhm.
provides a critical service to the average Barbadian, especially those who would have retired.
Mhm.
When you bring this new authority,
Mhm.
what happens to the person who lives on a pension
Mhm.
and get some sort of subsidy by being able to travel on the bus
Free.
for free?
Mhm.
I am sure
Oh yes,
the
we forgot
private
them.
entity is not going to allow that.
So what's going to happen to the pensioners who
School
travel
children
free?
and pension.
I have this question here. So the pensioners will very well suffer.
Mhm.
Barbadians, you have to think about what this Barbados Liberal Party-led
Yes.
government is doing
Yes.
to you.
Yes. Yes.
They are reducing your income. We also have single parents
Mhm.
or parents who work for small incomes.
Mhm. Mhm.
And they have children, they benefited
Yes.
when they were able to send school their children for free.
Mhm.
You cannot have a private entity or private operators
Mhm.
and expect them to absorb
Mhm.
that income,
Mhm.
or will be income. So I'm going to start there with that.
All right.
Now we're going to go on to the drivers.
Okay.
A bus driver works for X amount of money.
Yes.
is he really going to be able to afford a bus? What's the price of one of these buses?
Oh dear, I have no idea.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Mhm.
Will he qualify for a loan? Or is this a back door to put certain people in charge of the transport system in Barbados? Because I cannot see the average transport board driver
Mhm.
owning the bus. And furthermore, he has to pay 75.
While Jason is talking about ownership, peek back at the document, Pedro, so that you can respond in terms of the proposed ownership. But you go on. I just want Pedro to be able to clarify what you're saying according to the document.
When you look at the meat of this document,
Mhm.
they talk about terms and conditions,
Mhm.
right? And one of the terms and conditions of this document is that the owner will pay 75% of the charging fee.
Mhm. Mhm.
How much is that charging fee? Will that impact on the profit?
It must.
And if you have an area where the income is low,
Mhm.
let's
Where
say-
the route is not profitable.
well, yes, where the route is not profitable,
Yes.
thanks for those words.
Mhm.
You could very well be operating at a loss.
Of course.
So even though this someone said, say you're including the union, you're giving the owners, the former drivers
Yes.
to be owners of the bus.
That's an excellent
You're
point.
not
You know.
looking at the details.
How do you decide who you put on? Let's say, for example, Silver Hill
And
or
so-
the South Coast, and who you put in the
St.
middle of
Andrew.
where?
St. Andrew.
St. Andrew,
And then
precisely.
one final point.
The South Coast will be profitable. St. Andrew will not be profitable. But you have to move the people.
Okay, then one
Yes,
thing-
please.
One
please.
tiny little point.
Dale is waiting on you patiently. We're coming to you next, Dale.
It says the workers will be severed.
Mhm.
And I guess they'll get a gratuity. They'll get a lump sum of money.
Severance pay.
But at the end of the day, they'll be out of a job.
Mhm. Mhm.
So if you put a guy, if you give a guy a lump sum of money, you get service pay. And you're 45 years old.
Mhm.
And you don't have those skills to carve you one cannot be a man.
Another 22 years of working life ahead of you.
That money could very well evaporate in a short space of time.
Yeah.
Now we have a barrage of people unemployed.
You know, Dale, they're handing, and we have to say this. Look, it may sound good on the face of it.
Hmm?
I'm giving you a business. But they're handing you an unprofitable business. The transport board is not profitable. And perhaps, as I said in my opening, it isn't meant to be profitable within a social democracy. It is a service that the government undertakes to provide at government expense, and not government at the people's expense. So where are you on this deal?
So currently, if you when the government decides to fully privatize the transport board,
Mm-hmm.
they're putting persons in a position to make a lot of profit because there will not be a cap on the bus fare.
But that's the point.
And then
That's the unanswered question.
correct. So look at Light and Power.
Mhm.
Light and Power could spike the prices as they go. Hotels, any
Well,
private
like the
owned-
power has to go through the Fair Trading Commission. They
Mhm.
can't set prices as they wish.
Okay.
The prices are set by the Fair Trading Commission.
So that's we need to put something in place now
Well, maybe.
to set that price as it relates to the bus fare. Because like Comrade said, we have to take in consideration the persons that retired. We also have to take in consideration the free bus fare as it relates to the school children.
Yeah.
In addition to that, how many persons will be unemployed? How our NIS is going to recover or manage that?
There are more employees than buses then.
Yeah, we have more employees than buses.
Yeah. David, I know you want, thanks Dale, I know you wanted to come back, but we promised the viewers that we're involving them tonight. Can we go to, Director, can you select a comment that we can respond to, public, Esther Blue? I think, Jason, you made this point. What happens to the senior citizens if and when the transport board is privatized? Anybody? What happens to them?
I told you on Tuesday night,
Uh-huh.
the Barbados Labour Party-led government is not a caring government. You know what's going to happen to them? You're not going to have to use their pension to pay
To
bus
pay.
fare.
Lucinda Aline, I am a senior. Sometimes I travel on the transport board. what will happen to us and some of the school children? Here are Barbadians getting their opportunity on DLP TV to respond to what we are hearing is a proposal by government to get rid of the transport board, which has served this country for how many years, Jason Phillips? More than 60?
Good years.
Enough. Good. Bajan, let's go to Bajan Bay. Is this the reason Uber is in Barbados? Let's pause at that one. Yes, that's a good question. Somebody is making the comparison between Uber coming into Barbados and the transport board being divested. So here it is, you're bringing a private entity into Barbados, and I'm going to say it again, to undercut taxi men who have one taxi, two taxis, sometimes three. You increase their fares legislatively, and in a sense you're decreasing them by bringing Uber to compete unfairly with them. So privatizing transport board and bringing Uber in. Bus fares go up, taxi fares go down, and the taxi men make less money.
It is now revealing itself to me. Now, when you have these private operators, we know that the transport board begins work at a certain time on mornings, very early. And
What
probably
time? 6-ish?
About, I think, about 5:36.
5:36, yeah.
And then the last bus is 12 o'clock, right?
12? I don't know.
Right, about 12 o'clock. Who is to say that the private operator is not going to finish at 10? No.
As the ZRs do.
Yes, and then Uber now takes over. So you're scaling back on one transportation system.
Yes.
To make sure another one benefits.
Excellent point. Excellent point.
And while you're doing it, you're hurting the poor people and the elderly in this country.
And the Uber will send you a taxi with reduced fares, and he will work up till 3 a.m. or around the clock, 24 hours. So you're making the excellent point, Jason, that in this environment, Uber will be the winner.
The point that I'm making...
And the fella in St. Andrew will be the loser. And if he wants to get home at 8 o'clock in the night, he has to call Uber.
And you know what's going on here? This Liberal Party-led government is looking after those few people who can afford
Yes.
and who will benefit from this
Yes.
at the expense of the masses.
Of the small man. Let's go to John Rock. This move will be fraught with difficulty. Right now, concessionaires do not want to go into the country, especially at what they call slow periods. They will not go after 7 p.m. David, you're a countryman. That is your experience? Do the private concessionaires come up to St.
I
George?
haven't bought a bus in years, but let me tell you what.
Well, you know what's going on.
I observe.
Yes.
I observe, and I have friends who can.
You have ZRs and the BMs up by you?
Yes, we
Yes.
do.
And what's the latest one at night?
I'm not sure. I sometimes when I go to Market Hill, just before closing, around probably 7 o'clock.
7
8
o'clock.
o'clock.
Certainly not at 10
You
and
don't
11 in
see
the night.
Many of them after dark.
So
And that's a
they
fact.
kind of
They slow
disappear
down. They slow down at a
around
certain
6
point.
o'clock, 7.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
remember, some of these guys are on the streets by 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yes,
Right?
precisely.
It's
So you really can't ask a man to work beyond 12 hours.
Yes.
And that's what they're doing. They're working 12
Right.
hours.
So here lies another problem. Private concessionaires and the prime situation in Barbados.
Yes, indeed.
You think I want to have my bus on the road, fearing that
Yes.
somebody could, at the end of the
Walk into the bus with a gun.
and rob me?
Yes.
So there's a lot of dynamics. There are lots of dynamics that must be considered.
Yes.
Right? And as my comrades were saying before, there is a who will suffer. Who will suffer?
Who will suffer?
There's some sort of someone or someone's will benefit, but there's always some measure of, as the old people say, sufferation inside of this thing.
At the bottom.
And the reality is that it is the workers, it is people who want to get to work.
Yes.
It is people who have jobs and people come under pressure for lateness, you know.
Yes.
Some people lose their jobs for lateness.
Yes.
So when I don't get a bus, who can I lose my job? Can I bring a lawsuit against somebody? You're lawyers. Can I bring a lawsuit against somebody because I couldn't get to work?
I want to ask you a different question, and the whole panel. And let us do some creative and scientific thinking here. Bus fares are what, $3.50 now? If Pedro, if this system, you're a businessman, if this system is implemented and it cannot stay at 350,
Yeah.
let's tell the public where bus fares are likely to go.
But you're going to look at the cost of the buses first.
Yes.
Now, and you made a very good point. So I think it was about $10 million that they said they were going to put aside for these buses.
Yes.
So if this document is saying 121 buses, I'll use that 121 with the 10 million US. That's about 86,000 US per bus.
Well, that's what you were there working out on. Yeah. So,
Right, so that's 86,000 US. Now, and the point you made now,
86,000
US per bus, for the only buses.
Per bus.
Per bus.
Yes.
So if you're saying the government is going to allocate, take the value of 50%, that's 86,000 Barbados dollars.
Yes.
Which goes to the point you made, will Barbadians, the average bus owner be able to afford that? They're going to have to take out a loan to get that bus. Now, when they do that, the next part of the document spoke to the government taking part of the cost of the charging expense.
Part of the cost.
Yeah, part of the 25%.
They are taking 25%.
And the owner
Take
must say 75%.
My goodness.
Now, when you take that into consideration, the loan,
Yes.
the expense,
Yes.
the maintenance,
Running costs, yeah.
then bus fare, I may very well be afraid to say, may come to about between $5 and $7 per trip.
You bashful about saying $10?
Yeah.
You go to London and see. It's like train and bus fares up there are really steep because it's profit oriented.
So persons going to work can now be spending all of their earnings in bus fare.
It sounds like an impossible situation, David. It sounds like an impossible proposal.
Distance.
Distant.
You can imagine, I taking my bus and driving from Bridgetown to St. Lucie
Precisely.
for $5 or for $3.50.
With how many people inside?
I don't know, but what I'm saying,
Yeah.
distance.
Yeah.
Now a consideration might be for distance.
Yeah.
The people in Jason's constituency might get punished now because they might end up spending more to get home
Yeah.
than the people in my constituency.
You know, that's interesting. Back in the day, I think bus fares were stages. So Bridgetown to Eagle Hall 5 cents. Bridgetown to Grisette's 10 cents.
How
So
old
if
are you?
don't worry about that. So some people, it's interesting. Some people would either, if you had 5 cents, you had a choice. You take the bus to Eagle Hall and walk to Grisette's. Or you walk to Eagle Hall and you have the luxury of the bus ride after you're tired. They'll sound so foreign to you.
No, sir. I actually was going to make a point as it relates to the distance. You know, having minibuses or buses is going to be cheaper to run that business yourself as opposed to the government running it. The reason why I say that, the
It's going to be cheaper.
it would be cheaper for a private person to run that operation. Reason being, private people don't pay NIS. So the conductors and the drivers don't pay NIS.
How you mean they don't pay?
They don't contribute to NIS.
Oh, you mean as a bad habit?
As a bad habit. Yeah. So, you know, from that angle, so all of these persons that drive bus and conduct bus don't pay NIS.
They don't?
They don't.
Okay.
The persons that own the
We
buses.
have to encourage them to pay it, though.
Yeah, we have to encourage them to pay it because a guy
Look at the
came in.
nature of their work.
Yeah, so some of them now looking to get group health.
Group health.
Yeah.
With private companies?
With private companies. And then when these buses close off at 7 p.m., that is where now cost of living will definitely go up.
Yes.
Reason being because that is going to encourage the Uber, because private buses will not be working after 7. Because when these guys drink the alcohol during the whole day, who's going to be able to drive van after 7? Let me be real. This is the culture. These people is going to start drinking the alcohol after 4. By 7, 8 o'clock, they shut off. Tired and exhausted.
Yeah.
So no buses on the road, and you are forced to get an Uber.
Back to the Uber point again.
Back to
Let's
the Uber
go
point.
to the board, please, Director, and engage the public. Maxine, good old Maxine. Sorry, good young Maxine. Can anyone say how much time per day a bus spends recharging? In essence, how much time can that bus earn revenue in a 24-hour period? Maxine is a management specialist. Max, we expected this question from you. Excellent question. Who will take on the management specialist? Anybody here knows how long? I know cars. I know somebody who has one of these electric cars, and to fill it could take about 4 hours.
Well, I believe in
A bus takes how long? You know?
No, but I believe in all seriousness, the driver might want to charge the bus at night.
No.
In the off hours.
Ah, I see.
But
I see.
what I'm concerned about is the maintenance.
That's a good response to Maxine. That the best time to charge would be off hours.
Right.
After hours.
But I got two things that I feel might bother Barbadians. If you're the owner of the bus, you're going to be looking at maintenance, right? And in order to cover your maintenance, you're going to have to make a certain amount of money to make your business profitable.
Yes.
Another thing too, I can see, let's say a bus is going to Boscadal from Bridgetown.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to want to leave Bridgetown, that's a bus full,
Precisely.
right?
So you're talking schedules.
Right.
No
You
schedule.
got a problem scheduling.
Precisely.
And let's say the bus get as far as Rose Hill in St. Peter,
Mm-hmm.
and the bus is not empty.
Or one person
But
inside.
he don't want to go in Castle, he don't want to go in the Boston, he turn around.
Mhm.
Because he wants to have his
And
bus
Pedro is up there at a friend trying to get back down the road.
Can't get back down.
Yeah, you have to sleep over.
Uber.
Uber, you back to Uber. Let's go to the board. Who do we have here, Bajan? Is this a sign that the government has given up on governing and providing the basic services to the people of Barbados?
Excellent question.
Excellent question. I think that's rhetorical. The answer is yes, the government is giving up on the people of Barbados, and the people at the bottom levels will be asked to pay higher fares, and indeed you're handing an industry, an unprofitable industry, to people who can't afford to run a difficult industry. Bajan Bay, Barbadians will not qualify for a loan for a bus. Once again, only the top end of this country will benefit from the divestment of the transportation system. Gentlemen. Rhetorical questions,
Comrade
really.
Leader,
Yes, please.
all the investments and
The heavy words.
the selling and all this thing of our silver,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
we will continue to suffer. The
Mhm.
people of Barbados will continue to suffer.
Yes.
BNB Bank,
Mm-hmm.
airport gone,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
seaport gone,
Mm-hmm. You sound like an auctioneer. Going,
Yeah.
going, gone.
hospital
Going.
almost gone,
Mm-hmm.
transport board almost gone.
Yes.
All
All the social
Come on, man.
services.
The reality is that this government is incapable of running a Barbados
Mm-hmm.
that is people's friendly. I deliberately turn it into people's friendly because
Well, not friendly.
the
That's
whole
for the
idea,
people.
the whole dream of Arabara
Mm-hmm.
has gone through the door.
Yes. As I
Take-
say, the
taking
social democracy
care.
is dying.
Democracy is dying in
The
Barbados.
social democracy is
Social,
dying.
that's a fact.
Yeah, yeah.
Taking care of the people of this country who, in essence, build this country.
Yes.
Know this, we have a government. And let me tell you something, I made the error of listening to the calling program today. There's a lot of psychopaths out there
Mm-hmm.
who will defame any nonsense
Yeah.
that this government does.
They get a little something.
Right? I mean, is it worth it?
They get a little
Is
something.
it worth it? Are you going to put a rope around your neck and jump because you got a little something?
Yeah, a little something.
You're going to play along with everybody else.
Short term
The reality
gain.
is that when you look around Barbados, right,
Mhm.
everything is going, almost gone. And at the end of the day, who will sit at the lower end is the average Joe
Correct.
that will suffer.
Correct.
The people who go up there and vote because of a t-shirt wrapped up with something in it. And all these, we have to think our way through this thing, you know.
Yes, we do.
You understand? I would have never been sitting here had I not cared for the people that's in charge now.
All right. Maxine's question is answered by John Rock. It takes 5 hours to charge. Thanks, John. And M. Gardner is telling us will there be the adequate number of charging ports available? That's true too.
The documents
You were saying charge at night. They'll increase the charge in ports.
But
And somebody was saying something very good about us. Why y'all don't want us to hear good news? Somebody say above that one. Let's go to that one and remind ourselves that we do a good job here when the night comes. I'm a Barbadian. Give him his name, Hiram. Hello, Hiram. I'm a Barbadian living overseas, and it's great listening to Thorne and all here strategizing how to lead the country, Barbados, into a better place. Thank you so much, Hiram. We're trying our best. We're trying our best to bring the issues to Barbadians. This show is what it is all about, bringing the issues to Barbadians. Of course, we do spot meetings as well. Reminder, we're going to Ida Lodge on Sunday. Okay. Gentlemen, this transport issue. Yes, David.
how long does the charge last? You see, we talk about 5 hours to charge.
To charge.
But the question is, you own a cell phone.
Mhm.
And when you first had that cell phone, you could charge it today and work it for 2 days.
Yeah, the battery
But as
loses
it
its.
age,
Yes, yes.
it takes more charge. So as these buses age, my question is, are these batteries designed to maintain that type of charge?
Pedro, they said something about the batteries, repurchasing batteries. You want to look back at it, or you remember?
Yes, I think they were going to bear the cost of 50% of the new bring
purchase the battery,
to
a
purchase
new battery.
a new battery. The state will cover 25% of the replacement cost
25%.
of the rechargeable
That's the
batteries
answer, David.
through a sinking fund, which suggests,
Tell us
Comrade
what is
Leader,
the sinking fund?
But when the front 6 altogether, what
about where does the sinking fund come from?
It come
Is this another tax or levy on Barbados, on Barbadians?
There we are. There's so much involved in the proposal
Yeah.
that
Now tax is
perhaps the
coming.
government has not thought of. Yeah. So much. David, you want to come back?
I just find it there's so much that is hidden from the average person in Barbados. You basically, you're groping in the dark in regards to the policies of this government.
Yes.
Because you don't know exactly what they are up to, what they are about.
That's the problem.
And it's high time Barbadians demand a lot more. It's high time we demand a lot more in regards to accountability from this government. We are not pressing this government for accountability and transparency. Those are two words that they keep. As I sleep at night, I hear those 2 words.
Yeah, well,
accountability.
this document that Pedro read sounds good on the face of it. Nice. Oh, we're going to give you the buses and you'll be your own employer and so on. But based on our discussion here and based on what John Rock is telling us now, that while it takes 5 hours to charge, a charge bus cannot run the whole day. It can do 2 trips before it has to be recharged.
Whoa.
So this is going to be a very difficult industry to run.
That is interesting.
Do we
because
go back then to the diesel?
They will go back.
A diesel,
They will definitely go back to the diesel.
They offer you a choice, electric or diesel. Which are you taking?
Diesel.
Diesel, tell us why.
Reason being is way cheaper to manage the vehicle. The vehicle will last longer. Realistically, the persons that
The diesel will last longer.
will last longer.
Yes.
Realistically,
And it's more efficient to run.
more efficient to run because
We're not doing an ad against electric vehicles.
Correct, yeah. So owning you own a minibus. Your average is $4,000 a day. The regular
You mean-
diesel.
Oh,
Yeah, you can make $4,000 a day.
You can make
Yeah,
pulling that.
pulling that.
Yeah.
But with these electric buses, 2 trips before
Before
the charge,
charging.
how effective is that? So if you have 100 buses, so the persons that have the money will take all of the buses, take all of the routes,
Yes.
convert all of them to the gas and diesel, and they can make at least $500,000 a day.
Are we here concluding that electric buses were not
$500,000 a
such
day.
a bright idea after all?
$5,000 per bus at 100 buses, $500,000 a day. These people will make.
Back to my question. Are we here concluding that electric buses were not such a good idea after all?
Not at all. Where they charge the buses is actually a hazard. So we did some training across the road.
Yes.
Yes, so we did some training across the road, and one of the compliance persons said, well, having those buses there,
Over there.
right there, is a
It's a
hazard.
hazard, really?
Because if one go up in
Yes,
smoke,
yes, yes,
it has
yes.
the gas station right there,
Oh, yes,
the
that's
other
true.
gas station, and these batteries could explode at any point.
My goodness.
So that is that Robert Street Road is
Yes,
a serious
yes,
hazard.
yes.
The persons that actually know about these batteries and the effect.
Again?
Yeah.
You know, we take so much for granted. We never knew this. We were never told this. Can we go back to the board, please? Pedro, you had a comment, or you're fine? All right, let's go to the board. Dennis Tate, my good friend Dennis Tate. What's Dennis? He's talking about water tax, the wastewater tax. Okay, we'll read it, Dennis. The wastewater tax should only be paid by those businesses and households that are using wastewater facilities. Dennis, you're taking us far ahead in the discussion. We're on this transport board proposal. Bajam Pro is asking us to remember that governments fail at privatization with co-op. Yeah, we have to release a major statement on co-op, the future of the sugar industry, unless government decides to kill it now. They're killing public transport. Maxine McLean is back with us. I have been asked to pass this on. How is the average person supposed to qualify for a loan to purchase a bus when the BLP government has so many people on short-term contracts?
Excellent question.
Excellent question.
In fact, when we look at profitability, right? The document is saying that the Barbados Mass Transit Authority does the charging of the buses.
Mhm.
And if you look, charging is where you will be spending most of your money now.
Charging.
So it says to me that the Barbados Mass Transit Authority will tend to benefit more than the
The owners.
owners of these buses. So what is this Barbados Labour Party-led government doing to the ordinary Barbadians? On one hand, it's saying, we give you opportunity to own the bus. On the other hand, it might not be profitable to own this bus. And at the same time, you're putting people out of work.
Mhm.
Because whether or not you give them their package to go home, they're not out of work.
Let's go back to the board. Maureen Denny. Good night, Mr. Thorne and panel. The lithium battery used in the buses should have a much longer life than ordinary batteries. Admittedly more expensive, but longer life. Driving conditions also count. And Esther Blue is agreeing crime will worsen. Hiram is back with us. My pleasure, sir. My deceased dad was a big-time DLP man. He loved former Honorable Prime Minister Arrow Barrow. Thanks, Hiram. We're having a dinner. Anybody remembers the date of the dinner? If you could slip into Barbados, Hiram, and support our dinner, or if you can't, you can buy a ticket and hand it to somebody here. What's the date of the dinner there?
United as a nation, blessed from above, strong to have made it this far.
Unafraid of the future, surrounded by love.
Proud of who we are. These fields and the hills, beyond recall, they lift us up.
Yes, the dinner is on the 29th, Hiram. We don't know where you are, but we invite you to purchase 2 tickets and a plane ticket. If you purchase a plane ticket and come, we might even let you in on a complimentary basis in honor of your dad, who is a strong supporter of Right Excellent, Walton Barrow. Jason, you were talking about lithium batteries.
Yeah. Now, you're going to increase the number of buses. How are we going to dispose of these lithium batteries? Where are we going to dispose of these batteries?
Mhm.
And will that battery, the residue from that battery, affect our groundwater?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Those are the questions we must ask ourselves.
Dale, you know anything about lithium batteries?
No, sir. No, sir.
David? Well, let's go back to the board then.
Uniform.
Who do we have? John Rock. The cost of a battery for an EV is $10,000.
Imagine for a bus.
And John, you have to tell us whether that's a bus battery or a car battery.
That's right.
That's car, Pedro? Car.
Yeah. It's so reasonable. I thought it was more expensive.
You thought it was more expensive?
Yeah.
Bajan Bay, what is the average electric bill to charge a bus? Will the owner have to build a solid farm?
Solar farm.
A solar farm. Oh, yeah, solar farm. Sorry about that. Lemuel, we haven't seen you tonight. You're always here every week. If the electric buses were such a great idea, why are they divesting themselves of them? Excellent point, Lemuel. You're always on the ball. If the electric buses were such a great idea, why are you getting rid of them? Why are you passing on an unprofitable industry to the drivers? Any more, Director? Any more comments? There's one other there. From Maureen. Oh.
Comrade Leader.
Yes, please. Yes.
When I listen to especially David speak and then all the viewers online, one of the things that comes, I recall, coming from our national anthem, strict guardians of our heritage. And I am again concerned that we are not protecting what has made us Barbados.
Yes.
Last on Tuesday night's show, I would have heard people talking about a Barbados that we are not recognizing anymore.
Yes.
And this too is going to add to that, a Barbados that we are not recognizing.
Yes.
Not recognizing.
Yes, indeed.
The people of this country has put the administration in to lead, to guard our heritage.
Yes.
And when that administration cannot do it, it's admitting time and time again, as you just said, David, can't get it done, selling off everything, then we have to ensure that people who care, lead this country.
A major paradigm shift in our in the delivery of social services. Which will become the non-delivery of social services.
Yeah.
And everything will be subject to the market, what the market determines.
One of the other persons we forgot to mention, Comrade Leader, we spoke about the young people, the school children.
Yes.
We spoke about the elderly pensioners. Police officers also travel free on the buses.
That's right.
Police officers. And they're often neglected in this country. They're not treated with the respect that they deserve.
Police officers.
Police
Oh,
officers.
this government has a job.
Yeah. We police officers were always, I said it before, were always seen as community leaders.
That's correct.
Part of a community.
That's correct.
And we need to ensure that we continue to speak out and support the police officers in this country.
But then along came that Good Friday. I don't know why you and I laugh. It's not funny. We could go back to the board, or we move into our second hour and shift gears somewhat. No pun intended. Two more. Under the World Economic Forum, social services are to be moved to private enterprises. Ordinary citizens will pay the cost. Modern day slavery, says Alice Murray. Thanks, Alice. Thanks for being so sharp and on the ball, Kamhar. EV batteries range in cost from US 5,000 to US 20,000. So let us assume that the US 20,000, which is Barbados 40,000, would be for the bigger vehicles like buses. Pedro, you're a businessman. This thing is not sounding good for investors after the divestment by government.
And the point that that came up initially by one of the viewers, they indicated, is this the reason for Uber? And it is a legitimate question because the average bus owner.
An interesting coincidence.
Coincidence.
Yeah.
So the average person will not be able to afford this. Will not be able to afford this.
And Uber will be cheaper in this system. So you have Uber controlling most of the taxi drivers, and the poor transport board fellas take on a big bus that he can't really support. He's dragging it across the country unprofitably. That has been our first hour. Let us go to more general topics. I think we've explored the issue of the proposal to get rid of transport board. We're not using any big words anymore. They're getting rid of transport board. We've concluded that the fares will go up. We've concluded that the persons who take over will be unable, more than likely unable, to run them profitably, and that transport in this country will become chaotic and costly. So let us go to more general topics. We had said this is the show belonging to the viewers. What are the people saying? And we want to hear from you, the viewers. What are the people saying? I want to read some things. It's not short. It was, somebody sent it to me off a social media page. And gentlemen, I want to commend it to you. He is reflecting what people out there are saying about this government, about the state of life in Barbados. And he said, there's a feeling of fear to express oneself about how the country is being run. B, a perception that has shifted from our PM cares to a perception that our PM only now cares about her inner circle. C, there is now a perception that success and opportunity is only guaranteed by affiliation. D, the mature and aging segment of society perceives that government has created a weed smoking, party going, alcohol consuming generation, which is not sustainable. Society cannot survive with that. The next point, he says, the hope for a better tomorrow that existed at the beginning of the first term has now seemed to have been diminished. The next one, young Barbadians are quietly becoming convinced that their job opportunities are being lost to a growing community of non-Barbadians. Excellent points. Most important of all, there's a feeling of economic hopelessness going on across Barbados because the liquidity that appeared to have existed has now vanished, and too many Barbadians are quietly complaining about how difficult it is to survive. This is in the face of government saying that the economy is doing well. This is the word on the street. So please don't execute the messenger. And he ends by saying, you may notice that Broad Street is dying a quiet death, and Swan Street seems to be gasping for breath. I hope Morris Lee does not mind me saying that he wrote this. And we want to commend him for placing this into a public domain. It's not private. If it were a private document, I would not have read it. He's placed it on social media, I'm told. Morris Lee, it is not a name that is anonymous around here at all. I think a lot of us know that name, Morris Lee. So we want to encourage the public to join Morris in giving us some feedback as to what are the issues out there, what are people talking about. Certainly he's correct in relation to Broad Street, because what Morris said about Broad Street, Mr. Abeid joined him in that last week. And nobody has to tell me this. From time to time, Jason, we've gone to lunch on Broad Street, then we walk into Swan Street.
Yes.
Tales of dread, tales of low sales, that people are just going because they don't want to be at home. Sales are down.
You're absolutely
and
correct.
They're hearing a central bank report every quarter telling them that the economy is buoyant and that it is doing well. And it is an insult to people's intelligence, because there are people out there who are not doing well. And I don't like to use the word suffering, but there are people in Barbados who are suffering from the ill effects of a poor economy, an economy that is not performing. And this government needs to be sensitized to the reality that this country is not doing well, and people are being told as an insult to their intelligence that we are doing well. So we want to thank Morris Lee for writing that. We want to encourage some more public comment. Here's Algernon Adderley. He's still on the buses, but we want to go to more general comments. But Algernon, I'm going to read Pastor Algernon, I call him. Did you say that the Chinese buses of, what's that? Did you say that the Chinese buses
were grants?
Were grants. Oh, okay. If the government sells the buses, won't they be making $86,000 per bus when it costs them nothing? Pedro, you're the businessman.
Yes. I think I remember the first article had indicated that there were 33 buses that came in the first batch.
Yes.
And I think that is the ones that were gifted. Again, I don't have the facts, but in this release, it speaks 121 buses. So I'm not sure if then in comparison, the person is speaking about the 33 or the 121. So there may be some that were granted, but some the government actually purchased. But there was an allocation of 10 million US for some of these buses. That is basically what I can respond to him by saying.
Okay, thank you. Let us take the public then, or viewers, to another topic. They probably will say that politicians like to discuss this. The gap between the rich and the poor in Barbados. There are some people doing, David, very, very well. If you see some of the parties, like last weekend, and it becomes a celebrity event, there's some people, including the BLP ministers, you're seeing them in public places in revelry, and they dancing and they carrying on. I remember a few Independence days ago, a few Independence Day celebrations a few years ago. One of the ministers was on the barricades, and he was throwing his arms up and inviting photographers to take his picture. It was silly, but it pointed to an attitude of this government that they are living high on the hog, and the average person out there is not. And we are asked to be spectators to the opulence in government, to celebrations of wealth. There seems to be a lot of wealth around the government these days. They spend a lot of money. They certainly spend a lot of the taxpayers' money on government parties and these social events. Do people in Barbados know that government invests a lot of money in what we think are private parties, or is that a secret? Do we have to lower our voices when we say that? Yeah. So there are some people on weekends, like last weekend, having a ball. But a lot of people in Barbados, David,
Are you saying to me that the government is using taxpayers' money for their private uses?
Well, I am told, and these are matters of public interest. The public is entitled to know.
You want to know?
Let us put it in question form.
Okay.
Let us ask the government. Government, have you been putting public monies into private vets? Are we entitled to ask that?
Of course.
Well,
Listen, if I may, you ask what the people are saying. When I walk around St. Peter, the people of St. Peter are very concerned with the level of borrowing.
Of borrowing?
Yes, they're very, very, very concerned. And when we look at the town of Spikestown, they are also concerned that Spikestown is dying. For example, a major furniture company has left
Spikestown. I'm glad you went there. I have a very keen interest in urban rehabilitation, urban development. Spikestown, and that's your area.
Yes, it is.
Spikestown is becoming high-end. It's no longer a town. It is now
a town in name only.
Yeah, but it's built up. The high-end restaurants, the villas.
On course.
Yeah. What has happened? Has Spikestown died? The town that we knew, the place where people went to shop on Saturdays and during the week sometimes.
Spikestown has become nearly rum shops and restaurants. Even the hardware store, that major hardware store on Church Street.
Has there been an incursion into Spikestown of great wealth? The villas?
Yes.
The high-end restaurants? In other words, the disappearance of the ordinary fella from the Spikestown landscape that made Spikestown what it was.
I was at the fish market the other day in Spikestown. It was empty.
Empty. These things make a town. And you know what makes a town as well? People living in that place. That's why Oyston survives. People live in Oystons. There's a migration out of Spikestown, migration of residents out of Spikestown. And the new residents of Spikestown will not be the locals, not be the indigenous peoples.
And that is the sad thing, because Spikestown is part of the constituency of St. Peter.
Precisely.
That would have supported the other side, not to their benefit. And I will repeat this over and over until I turn blue in my face. You have to bet who bets you. You must elect a government that acts in your best interest.
Yes.
And what we are seeing here, for example, when you go over to the vendors market on Church Street, right where you like, those little kiosks or stalls
Yes.
are dilapidated.
Yes.
There's no the bathroom facility is in a mess.
Here again.
These are the things, and government is borrowing a lot of money to do what?
Where is it going? And you have demonstrated in a very real and graphic way the distance between the rich and the poor, because you're telling us about dilapidated stalls run by ordinary Barbadians. And just down the street, high-end restaurants, residences, all within the same few acres, quarter mile from each other. And one is depressed and the other is...
And what is worse, we have a big hotel going up to the north of Bridgetown.
Really?
And in the village of Six Mings, I spoke to some young men. And within that group, they said only one man is actually working at that job site.
Years ago when I remember post office, for example, you feel so good, you're going home from school, and if you happen to be in town at 4:30, you see the men in their hard hats. Any major project used to be a major national event, because you would see lots of people, lots of men working in their hard hats. You see that again in Barbados still? Airport, post office, these used to be big projects. Oh, and Central Bank building. And at 4:30 on the evenings, you see all the men emerging from the work site, going to catch the buses or having their cars. Is that something you're seeing with this so-called building boom? Or you're seeing people being transported back to their hostel?
To be honest,
None.
what I'm seeing is what looks like foreigners on many of these sites.
That's
and
the
I'm
point.
seeing a lot of young Barbadians on the block, not working.
So the migrant labor, the foreign labor is on the work sites, and the locals are on the block.
And then someone says that young men don't want to work.
Don't want to
people
work.
don't work. It's a fallacy, because you have to pay people properly and you have to treat people well. And what we are seeing here, as you said, the ordinary Barbadian is not being looked after by this government. We are catering for foreigners and for wealthy people.
Dale, you nodded. What are your young people in the city doing? They're employed on these work sites, or they're unemployed? And I'm going to ask the question raised by Jason. Do they want jobs? Or are we going to make the unfair judgment that they don't want jobs? What are your people in the city saying?
The people in the city want jobs.
They want
All
jobs.
of the young people want jobs.
Yes.
The reason why I shook my head when Comrade spoke, I was heading to the West Coast. I just passed Grove, heading to Royal Pavilion.
Yes.
And I saw about 75 Chinese cross the road by the pedestrian crossing. They stopped by the pedestrian crossing.
Yes.
About 75 of them crossed the road, went over to the playing field.
Yes. This is
board.
Maple?
Yes, Maple. Board a bus.
Really?
A coach bus.
Private.
And I assume these guys just finished working around minutes to 7.
In the night?
In the night, minutes to 7, and the bus is there to take them wherever. And then my question is, 75 non-nationals.
Yes, that's a large.
And I have 75 unemployed local Barbadians.
Yes.
That is on the block.
Yes.
So, I shook my head because I was like, it's all over.
And let me tell you what was said in Parliament by Ryan Strong. I don't mind calling his name. Ryan Strong boasted, we have 6 hotels going all at once. And he was talking about employment and the boom in construction. And you're telling me that about 75 people crossed the road, went into a bus off a construction site. You know this. We have to tell Ryan Strong this.
They should visit the site tomorrow evening, minutes to 7.
Yeah.
They will see.
Yeah. What's happening in the country, David? That's the city.
Unemployment. And
really? But they say 6%.
I'm going to make a statement for the sake of being repetitive. The perception is being placed out there that young people don't want to work. And they're using that excuse to bring migrant labor. That's an excuse. And Barbadians must become aware of the fact that Jason Phillips continue to make incessantly that this government does not care about the people who put them there. And that's a reality. We must stop playing games and stop being afraid to call a spade a spade. The reality is that this government has done things to Barbadians that is very unfair. Bringing migrant workers into Barbados, I have no problem with that. If we need them, we need them. But the opportunities for young people in Barbados to work is not there. Because some migrant workers might be willing to come and work for peanuts. In an environment, in a economic environment like where we are, can we ask the local people to work for peanuts, having to pay sewage and garbage tax?
And rent. And support children. All of the costs that the migrant laborers don't have. Yeah.
So the reality is that it is unfair for people to walk around and make statements that they just don't want to work.
Yeah.
It's a nasty thing to do to our people.
Yeah.
And use that as an excuse to bring in migrant workers to pay them slave pay, as far as I'm concerned.
25 US a day.
And
how much?
About 25 US a day.
It's
$50
unfair.
a day.
Yeah.
So the reality is that I need Bajans to look and see what is happening to them. We are going to be disenfranchised in this country. A lot of Bajans are going to become renters in Barbados. It is going to happen. We are not going to own property.
Yes.
A lot of property is being given away and sold.
Gemmett's
The highest
Lane.
bidders.
Gemmett's Lane.
Right?
We still angry about Gemmett's Lane, you know.
Very angry. A lot of Barbados is being given away to friends and sold to the highest
bidder.
While the average Bajan, and there are groups, and I don't wish to
No names, no
cast any
names.
shadows over any particular ethnic group in Barbados. But there are certain ethnic groups that are a small percentage of Barbados that are building out into the country, and they're owning up a lot of the land. I think that the DLP as a body, when we get together, we got to discuss land, because there must be some policy to preserve the lands of this country.
Yes.
Because selling land where there's a scarcity of land does not make sense to me.
That's right.
It makes no sense.
What's happening in St. James South, Pedro?
Thanks, Comrade Leader. I want to follow on from what he just said. And last Tuesday, the word you use, I actually want to piggyback off of. Barbadians cannot be tenants in their own country.
In their own land, yes.
And what I'm saying, recall that we had in 2022 on this administration, I think it was $150 million US loan from China, and that was for the Scotland Development Project. We had another
Scotland was on 242 million?
242
million US?
You're in part of it. Remember, better than me.
No, it was over. I think it was over 200 million.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
And then you have the net. I know the actual figure, but then the facility in Jukes, with the food security.
Yes.
Again, another project.
Yes.
So I'm not surprised that we're seeing the workers here, because that may have been a promise for these loans.
Yes.
Right.
To bring labor.
As well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So look at we talk about Spikestown, we talk about Whole Town, we talk about it even at the National Stadium. You see them as well there.
Oh yeah.
The National Stadium.
Who is building our National Stadium? Our National Stadium.
Well,
our nationals?
I can tell you that they resemble the same persons that we just spoke of. Just spoke of.
Yeah.
No, and it is not that we are against migrant labor.
No, we're not.
But the fact that you're boasting of unemployment again at such a low at 6%.
Record low, they say.
Record low. But then people in St. James are crying out as well.
That is what I want to ask.
Right, yeah. Because they can't get any work. And one of the things that there are a number of different factors to the persons who are not who can't find work. And I'll break it down. I'll try to do it as quickly as possible.
No, take your time, Pedro.
Okay. So you have the individual who would have been incarcerated. And they are now back into society, and everything they go and try to get a job,
Yes.
then they're being told no.
Nothing doing.
And it is not necessarily, it's not just a government issue, it is a societal issue, because we have to find a way to get these people back into society, working, because I got a text message at night time, and I felt really, really bad, and I had to actually go and assist the person, because the individual was trying, and I know that I even actually wrote one of the reference letters for them. They're really actively trying to find work.
Yes.
I could not find any work. That individual
In Barbados.
In Barbados.
Where they say it is record 6%.
Low, right, yeah.
And they're seeing foreign people working.
Exactly.
From 6 to 6.
And he mentioned saying he's so frustrated. What is he supposed to do? And this is what he said. I don't want to go back up there, but this is where you have repeat offenders in prison. And I never understood it.
Yes.
But it's only when he made a comment to me, you have crime in Barbados and repeat offenders, because we're not given the option to work.
Yes.
So government has to find a way, whether it be putting them into not the mass transport authority they want to bring them, but into the actual transport board where they can actually be there to work with the mechanics, to work cleaning, to work driving, whatever. You have to find a way to get these people working again.
Well, you see, Pedro, if they had been investing the loans in people.
Correct.
Because that's where it's supposed to be going, human development.
Human development.
And not parties.
Yep.
And not the chicken pen in Newton.
Yep.
So you know, underemployment is a big issue as well.
What's that deal?
The underemployment.
Underemployment, yes.
I met a young guy last weekend, and he's working $300 a week, 3 days a week. He pays rent at $250.
So he has $50 disposable income.
Correct. Very intelligent young man. And you know what he showed me?
He pays rent of $250.
$250
per week.
Per week.
And he's making $300 a week.
Making $300.
So what does he do?
He have to sell drugs on the side. This is a young man, very talented, educated with degree.
A degree?
Yes,
from
sir.
here at Cave Hill?
Yes, sir.
So this is somebody who tried?
In the city.
And who got Barrow's education?
Yes, sir.
And the BLP government is frustrating him.
Same issue in St. Peter.
That's a stark example as to what is happening in Barbados, the trends in Barbados.
He don't want to sell drugs. He want a permanent job, a stable job, where he can provide a decent life for himself. He living in a room.
He's renting a room?
In a room.
So there are other people in the house?
Yes, sir.
Let us introduce Barbadians to what is going on in this country. A young man with a degree from UE, the taxpayers paid for his education, thank God for 1961, greatest revolution that took place in this country, has his degree, is deciding to work for $300 a week, spends $250 to rent a room, has $50 left, and he's selling drugs to live.
To eat.
Not because he's wicked, but because he wants to live. He wants to eat. Pedro?
But, yeah, but it was, I'm going to add on to what he's saying there, because I remember it started with the incarcerated persons first.
Yes, yes.
I go to the next level I go to is up there. I went to a house in the community, and the person is on contract hours, so to speak. They work in the hotel sector. So
Yes.
when they're working like 3 days a week, young baby in the house, etc. The mother is challenged and doesn't work. They actually had to bring someone into the house to rent a room in that house. So it's a house with 2 bedrooms,
Yes.
but they have gone, everyone is in 1 bedroom, and this person is in the next room renting, and that house pays the bills in the house. So that's another situation.
My goodness.
You graduate again. Again, they're not finding the jobs that they already want. They have masters, etc.
Yes,
And
yes.
they're then getting $15, $25, $30 a month, basically before taxes.
Yes.
And they're frustrated even in terms of doing just clerical work.
So, Pedro, these are people who have tried.
Do have tried, yes.
I share something for you that's so unbelievable too. And this is Barbados, not some far away.
Right
place.
here, Barbados, yeah.
You have a man, I'm going to be very general. People share these things with me on the campus. You have a man and his woman and child living in a house. they cannot afford to pay the bills.
Mhm.
Right now the water is off and
How old is the child, please?
maybe 3 or so.
3 or 4, yeah.
The young lady is in her late 20s. And I said, you don't have water, how you get to work, how you bathe? She leaves home in dark, 4 in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
takes a shower at a standpipe in a bathing suit,
Mm-hmm.
comes back home and then goes to work. That's in my constituency.
Mhm.
And I'm just going to leave it general like that.
Yeah, leave it.
People in Barbados, some people in Barbados are feeling it very, very hard.
So that when we use the word suffering, they think we are politicking.
No,
But you're out there, Jason, and you're seeing real
I have videos to show people.
stories.
If you
No,
really-
no, don't show that
no,
video.
No, do that.
Mhm.
But there are other group of people
Mm-hmm.
who's supposed to be leading this country,
Yes.
and they're interested in party.
Yeah, and
Well,
flying.
Yeah.
So when we come here and talk about government's high party bill and flying bill, and one of the ministers he put up on Facebook this week, he is somewhere at some conference. I don't know if what he said has anything to do with the lady who is bathing under the standpipe, if it will better her circumstances. But these people are out of the country too often,
Barbadians,
spending millions of dollars a year, and this is what Barbadians need to be told.
yes.
That this government is spending millions of dollars on travel.
I'm borrowing a lot of money, where's it? I said before, I'm not looking for a position. I have a purpose. That's why I'm doing this. I said I will move heaven and earth, tooth and nail, to fight for the good people of St. Peter and by extension, Barbadians. And I'm sure everyone on this panel,
Mm-hmm.
the Democratic Labour Party is ready, is willing, and is able to lead this government, and we will fight for you.
Lovely.
Because the government that is in place now, they seem to have forgotten who elected them.
Mm-hmm.
And the time is coming, and it's coming soon, that the people will speak. You Barbadians, you have the power of the X. Let them know what time it is.
Somebody told me today that they were saying on radio, we don't have any personality. That the people in the DLP, we don't have any personality, we have character. We have character.
Mm-hmm.
Personality is an assessment that somebody else makes of you, how you walk, how you talk, how you smile, even how you trick people. Character. That's what we're about. The Democratic Labour Party is about character, about bringing 30 people in 30 constituencies to the people of this country, and we are coming with character. We're not coming to prove how well we dance, how sweetly we smile. We are people of character and commitment to this country's future development. And not this country about trees and beaches. We're about people. We put
Yes.
people first.
Yes.
Let's go back to the board, please. Morris is absolutely correct. However, if there are 10 facts a month and they are highly patronized, the government may believe all is well. Queen K, you are absolutely correct. You know, this government is judging its performance, its success by the number of people who go to parties. They're judging their success by the number of people who are going to football at night. They actually are believing that the well-being of people is to be judged by the numbers that attend a football match. They may be bored. They want something to do. There's a lot of dread in this country, and people need a release.
That's exactly what it is.
You think that's what it is, Pedro?
Yes, that's what it is. I want to say something here on that comment.
Yes, please. Please do.
This is St. Michael's, and I'm not doing a promotion, but this is St. Michael's Regathering Month.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they're in St. Michael now?
It's the last one. It's the last one, right?
Who's paying for it?
The government, the
Who is it
taxpayers,
for?
taxpayers.
Who is it for?
For the BLP people.
Of course, it's
A campaign.
It's a campaign.
A
yeah.
campaign. And one of these things I want to say about that, right, is that, do you know what the theme for St. Michael is?
Food and facts or something?
Food and fatting.
Yes, precisely. I told them that.
So the
last
final one is food and
fatting.
fatting, which brings back to what you just said. They believe, and what the person just said,
Yeah.
they believe that once it's food and fatting,
Yeah.
that all is well. And someone actually said that maybe this was a campaign leading into elections, etc. And when I was in the constituency, they said to me, we hope that they don't call it early, because
Yeah, get rid
the
of it.
Prime Minister announced that December 1st will be the start of the 60th year celebrations. So it'll be another year of food and fatting
Oh, there.
leading into November 30th, 2026,
Yeah,
if,
yeah.
if they don't call elections
Yeah.
before.
Yes.
Now, I don't want to get too sidetracked, but if they don't call it before November 30th next year for the 60th anniversary, Bajans can expect even worse measures, because the IMF loan repayment starts in June 2026, along with other loans that become due between June 2026 and January 2027. So I expect a lot of more. They give you all the facts now,
Yes.
but I expect all the shots coming afterwards, come March
Austere
next year,
measures.
in austere measures in the next budget. Now, but going back to the point that I wanted to make in terms of the facts and everything and stuff, and the how Barbadians are being treated. Now,
Give them a fact.
yeah, give them, and it's all over. But the funny thing about it, right? As you just mentioned, comrade leader, a lot of persons are so frustrated that they just want to be able, whether it be their water bill money they're taking up,
Yes.
their light bill money they're taking up,
Yes.
just want to have to go to event just to just get away from the issues of the day.
Yes.
But a lot of the other folks at those parties, they're actually there on free comms, comms tickets. So the
Oh,
company
really?
sponsors are getting tickets, or whatever the case
okay.
be. So you see people there, and you think that they're buying tickets, but it's actually tickets that they were given free
Complimentary.
because of complimentary tickets from the sponsors.
right.
So that is one of the things you got to notice as well. A lot of people who go to these events could not afford to be there
Right,
if it was
right,
not for a comms
right.
ticket.
Yes.
If we go back to within the constituencies now, and how the rich versus poor, and the middle income is no longer middle income.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
persons in the middle income bracket used to be able to help the lower income, but
Yeah.
now they're also struggling,
Yes.
and they can't help as well.
Yes.
They can't help. So you have a situation, even, and in terms of frustration again, people who would have been planning for retirement, and I may go off track here a bit.
No, don't speak freely.
But people who are nearing retirement are getting frustrated with the micromanaging of ministers and the government in this country.
Yes.
And they are coming out, they're either sitting down, hoping and waiting to just go home, or some of them who can or they can't afford it are taking the cut in their pension, because if you leave the service early, you actually get
you lose.
6% for every year. So if you leave 7 years before retirement, that's 42% of your pension. That's cut.
And there are people willing
There
to
are
do it.
people who are leaving early because they cannot take the micromanaging.
Really?
Yes. People are doing this.
I know, Pedro, that senior civil servants have gone home on sick leave in frustration.
In frustration.
Yeah, yeah.
In frustration.
And as you said, early retirement. I've
Yeah.
heard of that. So the ones who don't go on sick leave go on early retirement
Yeah.
to get away from the oppressive circumstances.
And the ones who are there are just waiting for their time to come.
Yeah, and then of course you have the situation in which this government has foisted contract leaders at the top of the civil service departments. People come in, get a 3-year contract, and they're ahead of people who were career public servants who were coming through the system and with the legitimate ambition of reaching the top of the ministry, frustrated.
Yep.
You bring in somebody much younger on contract, of course you put a person on a 3-4 year contract, he or she is going to say everything the government wants them to say for the sake of a renewal of the contract. And that's what's happening in Barbados. Can I go back to the board deal, or you wanted to add?
You good, sir.
Okay. Is this government breaking NIS and labor laws, asking for a Bajan? We're going to bring Neil Marshall next week. Neil is our man on labor issues. Bajan Bay or Kamhar, which one? Yes, they dismantled town and country planning, rename it, and then put themselves in charge of it. This is smoke and mirrors. Thank you, Bajan Bay. Let's hear Kamhar. Not only can't get work, Bajans cannot get good paying jobs or jobs that are not contract base. That's the point you were making, Dale. Alice Murray. Not only do we have migrant labor, we have persons coming into our neighborhood selling TV for gold.
Yeah.
Selling TV for gold?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Oh man, that's my favorite topic. I'm fascinated. And some of these gentlemen can hardly speak English. They're known with these big screen TVs over the shoulders and other
I've not heard of this.
stuff. And the only thing they don't want your cash, you know.
Gold.
The only thing these gentlemen want is your jewelry, gold, and silver.
So the old lady may have died and been buried the week before, and she has some nice earrings or bangles there.
The guys
And they taking that
They're taking it. And you know,
for TV.
It's almost as if Barbados is a free for all.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm sure that I couldn't go to Colombia and these places selling nothing, you know. I mean, that's the reality. I probably would not make it back home.
So for the gold that was around your house for 75 years, you exchange it for a TV that will last, how long? 75 weeks?
or 6 months. But the reality is that, as you all spoke about the contract workers, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've seen this contract work situation in living color, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where the NIS is now being run by a politically appointed board.
Mm-hmm.
People say it always had a board.
Yeah.
But in truth and in fact, what is happening to the NIS, and this was said to be by one of my constituents, is that the government role in the NIS was only to be a trustee. But the NIS is completely taken over by the Barbados Labour Party.
Yeah.
Because a politically appointed board by the Barbados Labour Party is going to be constituted by a constitution of sycophants from within the party.
Yes.
That's the reality.
Doing the bidding of the government.
Doing the bidding of the government. So in truth and in fact, NIS is now being run by the Barbados Labour Party, whether we want to believe it or not. And the fact that they move it to be fully board managed.
Yes.
All the workers at NIS are contract workers now.
Really?
Yes, but no, they don't have public service working there anymore. They're contract workers. So in truth and in fact, this government, by extension of signing an agreement with the IMF, agreed to gut the public service.
Yeah.
They agreed to send home 11,000 people.
I like how you put it, gut the public service.
Gut the public service. They agreed to send home 11,000 people. A lot of people have already forgotten that fearful year when every single government department took a cut. Workers went home. Those who some of them who went home on retirement weren't replaced. So a lot of the government departments are basically, let me say, skeleton staff. Yeah. And most people who go into public service don't go in or the public service who go work for government are working by contract.
There was a long time over which town planning did not have a receptionist. So you could call from 8:30 to 4:30, you're not getting through. You got to get in your car and go up there.
And sir, I must say, that is why the public service to Barbadians is so poor. That is why people that look.
So they're complaining about the people in the departments, not understanding that this is a problem caused by government policy.
It's not the people, it's not the workers' fault.
Right.
It's the people over them who's managing them. It's the people we put to manage this country. You can't gut a department and still expect it to function
efficiency. Yeah.
So the reality is that the licensing authority right now is bare issues.
Somebody met me and told me to speak about that, the situation with the inspections or something, with the lines and lines of cars. What's going on up there?
I'm not sure exactly what's going on. All I can tell you is that when I meet people, they say my licensing authority is bare stress.
It's a disaster zone.
And I think we need to investigate it because obviously something is not right. And I must say this too. We talk about going digital and all this kind of thing. Huh?
Sweet right? Talk.
We talk about going digital and getting rid of going paperless.
Yes.
These real sexy words, you know. Real sexy words are going paperless. Going digital. They're just words.
Who are the companies that they're bringing?
Barbados cannot afford to go digital. You want me to tell you why? once you set up a digital system, you got to ask who built the system. And whoever built the system got a back door. And in reality, a lot of government department has already been hacked. And it will continue to happen. It will not stop.
That was a major issue earlier this year.
It will continue to be a major issue, sir. Because we want to pretend that we can afford a digital system, a paperless system. And going cashless by next year has been mandated.
Like the electric buses.
Right?
We go on electric buses.
This government will fail. Not because they want them to. They will fail because
they will fail or they have failed.
Well, the failure continues.
Yes.
Because all these different systems that they want to set up is beyond us. We can't maintain no digital system. We can't set up the firewalls to protect the system. Right? Even in banking in Barbados, and I'm not attacking the bankers.
Yes.
But a lot of people keep losing money. It happened to my sister. It happened to my cousin. Right? I know other persons that suffered from, for some reason, their money go missing. And have got to go through processes to get back their money. What I'm saying is that we want to modernize Barbados to a point that we can't afford to manage the modernization.
Right.
That's what it is.
Right. Enough sweet talk. That's what we get. Can we go back to the board, please, Director? Lemuel Tull is telling us school leavers used to know that they would get a job as a teacher, a nurse, a police officer, or in the wider public service. Those were the days. Yeah, we were leaving school and you chose private sector, public sector. A lot of young men went and joined the police force at the time, called the police service now. Those days are gone. Contract. Somebody said in here on Tuesday that a lot of the people at clerical level in the public service are contract workers. 3 months. You say that, David?
Oh,
Yeah. Let's read Keith Padmore then. There are several persons in Barbados who can be classified as the working poor, even though their salaries are above the minimum wage. So just imagine what it's like for those earning minimum wage.
So then
What's it like to earn minimum wage in Barbados, Jason Phillips?
I'm going to answer that this way.
Yes.
If you're working short hours or you're not making high wages, what is the person's diet like? You're going to be sending school children who are not probably having vegetables on their plate.
Yeah.
Who's using a lot of sugar.
Yeah. The
Or
doc
salt.
told us about that here one night.
And then down the road, that's going to have a spill-off effect in our healthcare service.
Yeah.
The government must really step back. When I say the government, I mean the Barbados, the party-led government. Let's step back and say, what direction are you really leading Barbados? Right? What is the government doing to the ordinary Barbadian? And I'm beginning to feel as though this government has lost its way.
Well, let's hear what Keith Padmore is telling us again. Barbados is in deep trouble due to very poor management at multiple levels, successful only in imposing the most oppressive legislation Barbados has seen in the last 100 years. It's an AOS crisis. What's AOS, please? Young people?
I don't know.
Keith Padmore right back and tell us what's an AOS crisis. M. Gardiner says, the registry seems to be one of the departments affected. Mr. Thorne, why is it a person is waiting 4 years to receive letters of administration? I can preach about this after the lawyers had done all that is necessary. Look, can I say in public tonight that I'm going to look in the camera, that I have several applications in the registry, and I may get somebody upset, but just this week I asked the staff at the office, please check on those letters of administration that I've had there for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and I can't get them back. And people are waiting to collect the bank accounts that were left by the persons who died. People are waiting to have their titles transferred into their name so that they can go to the bank and get a loan. People are waiting for all kinds of benefits that flow from a person's death, letters of administration, what is happening at the registry. Thanks for the question. I too am a lawyer, and I too am asking, please give us an answer.
I was in the constituency the other day, and someone had that same issue.
Letters of administration?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I had to point them. They were so frustrated, so even the vehicle that was there, they could not use.
I had one of those situations.
And I had to advise the person then that they can actually go to the insurance company and leave it in the estate, so you can actually get the insurance in the estate.
I see.
Right? So the person can still go ahead and drive the vehicle.
Yeah.
But it's happening.
Every government department, inefficiencies, because somebody wants to micromanage the whole of Barbados.
And who's suffering?
When they're here.
And who's suffering?
The people.
Average Joe.
Maxine McLean is coming at us again. People seeking to register newly owned vehicles have been experiencing significant, I think she means delays. Others trying to sell vehicles are also being frustrated. Why is that, Pedro? Why?
Issues with licensing authorities.
It's issues with licensing
The
authorities.
apparently, the system don't seem to be working well. And like I said,
But you hear a lot of pretty talk.
there will always be problems.
How we've digitized
all this digitizing
and the paperless, as you said.
There will always be problems because we cannot afford to secure these servers. We don't have the facility for it. Big America got servers that just go up this morning, by afternoon, another firewall go up when I'm done, and it's a moving thing. What I'm saying is the reality is that we can't afford to set up the kind of firewalls to protect our systems. So why we pretending that we can't even get the hospitals to work well. You know, I want to say this to the members of parliament, the people of Barbados would have voted for. Today for me, tomorrow for you. There are persons who are afraid to go to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. There are persons who are afraid to go there. They are afraid to go there because they believe in their minds the service is poor and that they are not going to be treated the way they would like to be treated when they are afraid. Because when you're sick, you're afraid. And this government that you are part of, you all need to come together and come up with a plan for the hospital, because it's our primary care institution and people are afraid. Imagine being afraid to get sick. And that's what's happening in Barbados on a daily basis. People are scared. You are not doing a good job as long as you can't get our primary care institution up and running properly. You're not doing a good job. And the people of Barbados need to send a message to this government. Yes. There's no more excuses. Right? Don't carry back to the Democratic Labour Party, no other kind of party. You got the reins in hand, ride this horse. You're messing us up. You're destroying our confidence in an institution that have served us for a long time.
Well said.
A long time.
Very well said. Keith Padmore has an interesting view there, Keith. Going digital is intended for total control over our money and lives.
True.
I know Pedro is a computer man. I'll leave that. Maureen Denny. Mr. Thorne, how will you balance the ex-criminal looking for a job, the graduate that can't find a job, the underemployed, and also the disabled who are at the lowest rung in relation to everything? This government is taking a lot of money and spending on themselves, and the public needs to know that. The public needs to know that we have a government that we used to be, as I said, a social democratic economy, welfare state, and so on. And this government is taking that money and spending on itself, and it's spending, as I said earlier tonight, on private parties in Barbados.
It's become the party.
And a lot of money is leaking from this economy, not only by mismanagement of financial resources, but by corruption. There's a lot of corruption in this country. And I think people are now onto it, and that is why there has been this shift against the government. And we have people talking about, personality. As I say, we're not about personality, we're about character. We're going to bring character and decency in government to government. This government has not been decent. It's been overspending on itself, leaking money out of the economy.
And also spending money on persons that are being paid to promote them.
What do they call them again?
social media influencers.
Influencers.
So you have people.
That's a modern name for a propagandist, a liar.
Yeah. So you have people who are being
Dale's
paid.
laughing.
I learned something recently. I think it was last year, where the party promoters actually pay people to go into the fets to hype up the fets.
Really?
So you see these people at the fets
Doing bad.
not bad and say, you this party hype. And you start doing it move too.
Yeah.
But then they paid to do that. And the government is apparently taking that same concept and paying people in Barbados
to hype up
the masses in this country to believe that all is well.
Yes.
When we're all bleeding.
Yes.
We're all bleeding.
I like that term, bleeding.
And it is something that we need to really address because people are crying out, they're suffering, they're asking the questions, comrade leader. If we are seeing a significant increase, millions collected at the pump for fuel tax, why? And our comrade Pedro Shepherd, he goes on his on Facebook and he writes a lot of brilliant articles.
Yes.
He's asking for, if you're getting all this money in taxes, why can't we have an emergency overnight remedial work for patching the roads and stuff, whatever the case may be, because we want to see the benefits of the money that we're collecting. If we have some issues through St. James South, through St. Thomas, we put all the Barbados.
Fixed Bridgetown yet, by the way?
No,
they haven't fixed Bridgetown.
Not
That's
yet.
the worst road in Barbados.
And people have to go up through Shop Hill. The road is horrible to get out of Welsh Mahal and other areas. So it is a serious issue. If you're collecting all this money, where is it going?
Where is it going?
If you're collecting, you boasted of $110 million increase in the health levy, then we should have the issues at the hospital we're having today. It should be improvements. Where is the money going?
Let us put the government on notice. We're taking a camera crew. We took a camera crew up to the proposed roundabout, 5 acres roundabout. We're going up to the chicken pen in Newton.
Monstrosity.
Yeah, the largest chicken pen in Barbados.
I just collected someone from the airport yesterday,
Y'all
and they passed it and they said, "What is that?"
Well, we saw it from a different angle this evening. We're going up there with a camera crew. There's nothing going on. And there's another story to it that we're going to reveal soon. But we need to take some pictures of it and bring it and display it here on the LPTV so that Barbadians will see. It's just down the road from Chickmount. I thought it was something Chickmount was doing to, expand
I'm
their
sorry,
chicken,
I have the pictures
chicken
when it first started, because they actually have already started renovations of what they started what they had before.
So you're a person who came in from the airport asked what it is?
Yeah, they saw overhead coming in, and
they saw it overhead.
They saw overhead, and as we were actually passing, said, "Oh, that's what we were saying. What is that?"
And what did you say?
I said it was poorly spent money for Carrie Festa, where it could have been used for upgrading facilities in Barbados.
You sound like an influencer. You gave a very decent answer. But it's the funniest thing I've ever seen. But it's not so funny because it's taxpayers' money. And it is part of the estimated $70 million that was spent on Carrie Festa. And estimated. And this government has still not yet told Barbadians how much money has been spent on Carrie Festa. Because Barbadians don't matter. You don't have to tell us anything.
But you mean to tell me that
why aren't they telling us, Jason? Why is not the government telling Barbadians how much money was spent on Carrie Festa?
Because they're too embarrassed to say that they're wasting taxpayers' money.
You think they're capable of embarrassment at this stage? When they don't tell you when they're leaving the country, when they're coming back, what they did with the loan money, how much money they spent on themselves, how much money they spent on the chicken pen at Newton?
So you're saying a while it's grass, the horse is hungry?
Well, the
grass growing.
The horse starving.
The horse starving.
So would it be better to pave some of these roads on that Carrie Festa money?
That's Pedro's point. That's Pedro's point. Pave some roads. Alleviate the suffering of the lady by you who is bathing under the standpipe in a swimsuit.
Why don't you lower the VAT?
That is our proposal, and we announced that last Sunday night in H. Marlow. Please don't give a figure. But a new DLP government, we absolutely have to put money back in the hands of people.
I agree.
And the first and direct approach, lower VAT. We are creative, we know what we are doing. And we have economists on this team, by the way. And it will be done. That is a promise we make to Barbadians.
Excellent.
Yeah. But let them respond to us, David. You want to say something?
But you're saying that they're not saying anything to the people.
Nothing.
I'm saying the people are not demanding anything.
Well, that's why we're here. Honest voices for the people.
And that's why I'm that's why I'm into politics.
Yes.
Because people are bashful for some reason.
Bashful. Nice term. They're afraid. They're
become
afraid.
very bashful for some reason.
They're afraid.
I don't understand why all the fear. I don't know who's the bully.
You don't? I don't want you to get sued, so don't
No,
say. But we know who's the bully.
I don't know who's the bully, but why are Barbadians afraid to ask questions? I have on my phone here a list of loans that this government would have had since 2024. Lots over $2 billion in it.
2 billion US or Barbados?
Some in the US and some in Bridgetown. We've got to tabulate the.
Yes.
But what I'm saying, nobody knows where these loans are. Heard Jason or Pedro said that come next year,
June, yeah.
next year June, that some loans there have to be repayment of some loans in Barbados. Could it be that these loans were taken, put aside
to pay next year?
To pay next year loans.
Yeah, while the country is suffering.
Right. While that money is sitting there to pay back loans, while we borrowing loans to pay loans, the people in Barbados will continue to suffer.
Precisely.
People will continue to be afraid to go to the hospital.
And they will be told that we have a great macro economy.
Yeah.
But the micro economy, inside there, people are suffering.
I need to say this. I need to say this. Technocrats, people who have the technical language in finance and economics, they speak above the heads of the average person. Sometimes they're way above my head. And I have been a business person for most of my life. And sometimes when I listen to these people speak, they are above my head. They do that deliberately. They leave people confused. And people are ashamed to say, I'm confused. I don't understand what he is saying. So the reality is that they say things that we don't understand. And we run and say, and at the end of it, they say the economy is growing. And people, because they don't understand, they run away, believing that the economy
is growing.
And forget that they need to mirror their own progress, their own financial stability with what was said. And that's the problem in Barbados right now.
Yes.
That we have these big economic gurus speaking above our heads. But we don't need to listen to them. We need to look at our own personal situation. We need to look to see what we are going through and understand that what we are going through should mirror what he's saying. And that's the problem in Barbados. For me, as an individual, if I'm not seeing any financial progress in my life, then for me, there's no progress. There's no progress.
Precisely.
And we got to stop listening to these people trying to sell us a story. Because that's all it really is. They're selling us a story. Because if you are not financially stable, and you look around, your friends are not financially stable, then the economy is stable. It can't be. Otherwise, we're doing something real wrong, Jason.
Agreed.
You understand?
What is that somebody's saying about Motley was recently? You don't want that? Oh, that's you want us to read it? Are you better off in Barbados since 2018? That's a good question. No. Kamhar is asking.
No, the person is saying that Motley was trying to, it says Motley was recently heard attempting to trivialize the question. So it was, I can't remember exactly where she was speaking, but I heard her indicate, don't mind them talking about you're not better off, are you better off? Don't mind that talk, are you not better off? So yeah, I think that Bajans are indicating, in fact I'm hearing that in my constituency, I'm hearing all the Barbados, that things are no better off. Things are no better off.
That's the more direct question. Are Barbadians thinking that they're worse off now?
Yes.
Yes.
They're worse off than they were before. They're worse off than they were before.
And that's the harsh reality,
When you
Jason.
go in a place like England Ground and there's not one single paved, smooth road in the area, you can't be better off.
What about access to food
Yeah.
and the ability to pay rent?
When you're finished with your mortgage or your rent,
Rent, yeah.
and you buy groceries that supposed to last a month but don't last a month, you're living. A person made a comment here tonight. You're living the middle income or even the well off are living paycheck to paycheck. So, and the person asks, if I, as someone who was classed as a middle income person, what about the person on minimum wage? Because if I are getting $3,000 to $4,000 a month, and I'm struggling from paycheck to paycheck, what is happening to those people with minimum wage?
Look, to answer the question, ask the average Barbadian who sees the groceries in the supermarket increase almost on a monthly basis. People are really seeing it hard. And this government, this Labour Party-led government is doing absolutely nothing to alleviate the pain, the hurt that our average Barbadians are experiencing.
Gentlemen, it's about 2 minutes past 9. This has been, I wouldn't say a pleasure because we've had a sad story here tonight, but it's always a pleasure to interact with Barbadians. Thanks to our viewers for the interaction. It was great hearing from you. We're going to come back next Tuesday. The next interaction, the next public interaction we have, Pedro, is on Sunday night.
Sunday officially starts there from 5:30. Officially starts at 6.
Patience Drive.
Patience Drive, Eden Lodge.
You're a speaker.
Yes, we have you Comrade leader.
Yes, thank you.
President, opposition leader of the party.
Thank you.
We also have Dr. Dawn Marie Armstrong.
Yes,
She's the candidate for St.
yes,
Michael North. You have Senator Ryan Waters.
Yes, St. Michael
Northwest. You also have Jamal Sandyford.
St. Michael Northeast.
St. Michael Northeast. You have
James Paul. St. Michael West Central.
St. Michael West
That's
Central.
the zone.
Right, and myself wrapping it all up,
Yes,
St. James South.
excellent. Should be a good meeting. We had a great time, a great meeting in H. Marlow on Sunday. Some of you gentlemen were there. None of you gentlemen were there. We'll all be there Sunday, right, Neil?
The Sunday would have ended the Youth Ignite weekend, where we were down at Savio on the day, Friday,
you were there
Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah, how was that?
Ramon Goodman, he would have spoken. He's part of Young Democrats and also a candidate
on
for
the
St.
wrong side
Andrew.
of the camera again today. I keep saying that.
He's also actually going to be the chairman of on Sunday in Patience Drive.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. Ramon Goodman, our candidate for St. Andrew, he's down there trying to persuade the government to fix the people's roads, to give them a good bus service, and lo and behold, we hear today that the government is getting rid of the bus service. What is going to happen to the people in St. Andrew? But Ramon is offset. He can't answer tonight.
I was told that, I mean, we should be wrapping up, but I was
No,
told
you
that
go on,
the Shorey Village bus used to go from town, Warrens, up through Jackson, Bridgefield, Rochmore Hall, into Shorey Village.
Yes.
The Shorey Village now goes down to Orange Hill and goes through the back because of all the road
bad
issues.
roads.
And so someone leaving town gets home in Shorey Village probably in an hour and a half.
Hour and a half.
Almost
in a
two
bus.
from a bus.
Wow. Bad
Positive
news
road.
all around Barbados. Barbadians, a time is coming and coming soon when you will be given the choice to choose. This is according to what they're saying now. Between personality and character, Barbadians choose. If you want a sweet personality to fool you, tell you lies, or if you want character that will run your country properly and ensure that you and your children will have some chance of a prosperous future. Gentlemen, it has been an absolute pleasure having you here again. I look forward to seeing some of you next week. Next week we're going to have a surprise guest in here. I think you may know about that, Pedro. I think you'll be here too. But good night. God bless you. See you on Tuesday.
In the nation, but look how high she flying now. Is she a prime minister or a pilot? Axina. Axina. Is she a prime minister or pilot? Every week an ex-flight in the docket. Hostess or conquer who could tell? Barbados from crew not doing well. Borrow and fly, fly and borrow. Tax the people, cry tomorrow. Plane take off, nothing drop down, not a cent. Touching the ground, fly over government. Fly and gone again. So big body people strain. We catching heat, they catching plane. Fly over government. No landing in the rain. Fly over government. Them up high we remain. Every time we talk, we hush. Next thing plane ride, do whoosh. Making airline.
Lift your hands, Barbados. It's a new season, a new day. Together we rise, one people, one hope, one DLP.
We've been through trials, we've been through pain, but hope is rising like the morning rain. Voices of the people, strong and true. A brighter tomorrow is waiting for you. Honest voices, standing tall, balance justice, one and all, trust restored. The people say a brand new dawn begins today. One family call, one Barbados, a place for all. Hope is rising, the vision clear. God bless this land we all hold dear. From north to south, east to west, we stand together, giving our best for justice and fairness. We answer the call. One DLP means hope.